Welcome to a special edition of the BumbleKast. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Krause.
Hello, we're back. It's a very special episode. This is the one we're going to tell you not to do drugs, finally.
No. Although you may feel like you are on drugs at some point. Months ago, a wonderful couple of patrons sponsored two special guest episodes. The special guest being Dr. Starline. The stipulation was that the second episode would have to wait until after Sonic number 50. Their stipulation, not ours.
They didn't know what was going to happen.
They had no idea. And so to have fun with that, neither will Dr. Starline. We're going to use the time stones here to visit the good doctor just after the end of Imposter Syndrome. He's riding high. He's victorious. He doesn't know what's going to happen and issue later. So we have your questions. He's going to give us his answers. And Kyle, you're man of the ship till I get back.
All right. I'll do my best.
So here we go. The second and quite probably final Dr. Starline guest episode. Good evening, Kelsey. How are you?
What's up, Doc?
I don't get the reference.
Well, you're a doc, right? You're a doctor?
Yes,
doc.
but you did some strange voice, and if there's one thing I can't stand, it's bad impersonations.
Oh, well, you did one last time of Ian Flynn, so...
Yes, but that was impeccable. That was quite on point. It's not a bad impression at all.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It actually was pretty good. How you doing, Mr. Starline?
Dr. Starline, and I am on cloud 9. Everything is coming together. So while I wait for Sonic and Tails to enter and meet their inevitable demise, I've decided to dine and answer a few more of your questions before I get busy ruling the world.
All right, well, that's a little odd, but okay. I'm glad you have the time to join us. We're going to just jump right in and get started with a question from Duck Dealer. Dr. Starline, what is your opinion on the smaller Sonic that assisted your world Sonic during the Phantom Ruby crisis?
Sonic, at any age, at any point in history, is a problem. Granted, his younger self isn't nearly as talkative or obnoxious, but that only makes him slightly more palatable.
Yeah, but he's still the same Sonic, really. I mean, it's still going to be the same. Sonic High has a question. Good day, Mr. Starline.
Doctor?
So, legacy. It's a very important factor in how you live your life. You'd want to make sure you leave a remarkable impact on the world. For such an esteemed society toppler as you, I'm sure this concept has crossed your mind, so let me put it out on paper. What overall goals would you like to accomplish before you die? And I suppose on a mildly related note, how would you want to die? Because even for esteemed individuals such as yourself, death comes for us all, I'm sure.
How morbid of you. Death, like all things in nature, can be accounted for with the proper time and preparation. I suppose once I've thoroughly accomplished my goals for society, I'll tackle the shortcomings in the cosmic design. I doubt I can trust anyone else to manage things correctly in my stead, so unlocking the secrets of immortality is an obligation on my part. Once this key phase in my plan comes to completion, the focus will be on implementation. Surge and Kit will need to be properly integrated into the cultural zeitgeist and the hero-villain theater maintained as I transition the world into its proper place. Once primed, the real changes and improvements will begin. It will be an arduous journey, but I'm just the visionary capable of seeing it through.
Sure, that sounds right. I can go with that. I think you will be doing just fine in terms of before your death. Well, actually, no, because you won't die, obviously.
Obviously.
Obviously. Good. Okay. Obviously. Yeah. I mean, you can just transfer your brain into another thing.
Leave the big thinking to the professionals there.
I'm going to do that. Here's a question from Daniel CG. Dear Dr. Starline, apologies for the slip up, but I have a question for you. Have you ever been cursed? Like, has someone ever screamed at you, "Curse you, Dr. Starline the Platypus"? And good luck with your remaster. Hopefully it'll go smoother than the other attempts.
Ooh, I haven't been cursed yet. Perhaps it's a trifle juvenile on my part, but I do look forward to that day. Oh, perhaps I'll have Surge prompt someone to scream out the line during one of my scripted victories. No. It needs to be authentic. I want to earn that melodrama from my enemies.
What if you actually got cursed? Like, literally cursed. Like a real magical curse on you.
Well, magic isn't real, so that's not going to happen.
Okay. I mean, there's a lot of things that can only be really explained by magic in your world, but okay, I'll cede to you on that point.
Only conceived of as magic by lesser minds.
Here's a question from Colin B. Dear Dr. Starline, since you're about to kick off your most ambitious plan ever, I have to ask, how do you feel about the spooky ghosts that inhabit your world? They always struck me as pretty creepy looking with those big pointy grins and scary eyes of theirs, not to mention their penchant for invading people's personal space. How do you think you would fare if you were to suddenly die and come back as a ghost?
How topical. Dr. Eggman has already proven those paranormal apparitions can be controlled and contained. I equate them to wisps, energy-based entities that can be utilized for various purposes. The conflation between them and the deceased is superstition, though. Whatever they aren't enduring souls. Souls.
Yeah, you don't strike me as a guy who would believe that he has a soul. Here's a question from Ben W. Hello, Doctor. Hope you're doing well and have considered perhaps carrying a spare tricore in the future. Anyway, lots of assumed names out there in the world, right? You have Eggman for a certain Ivo Robotnik, Tails for miles per hour, some dude named Ben, adding an is to the end of it for funnies, etc. But what about you? Is Starline your real name or just one you came up with? And if you did come up with it, what was the inspiration?
Starline is indeed my name.
Just Starline?
Just Starline. Well, not just. Dr. Starline.
Ah, interesting. Sassafras Underground has a question. Dearest Dr. Starline, mayest I ask about your singing capabilities? For instance, if you were forced into a rap battle or into a singing competition, would you win? I think you would.
Sadly, despite my mathematical genius and meticulousness, I cannot rap. The rhythm and elocution elude me. For traditional singing, no. Modesty forbids.
Oh, come on. I think you got a good. I think you got some pipes.
Couldn't.
You could do it. Come on.
No, really,
Do it.
I suppose it is a special occasion. To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man, strong and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star.
Beautiful. Bravo. Bravo.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very good. Very good. Very good, sir. Very good. Very nice. Very lovely. Here's a question from Gavin S. Sir, it is truly an honor and a pleasure to have a chance to ask you a question. Dr. Eggman has created bases, factories, refineries, monuments, and amusements all under himself and the Eggman Empire. During the time you were with him, could you share which of the Eggman Empire-owned areas and facilities are your favorite? For example, West Side Island's chemical plant or oil desert near Never Lake. Also, hello, Kyle. Hi, Gavin.
Oh, your name is Kyle. I should have noted that. Anyway, indubitably, his facilities across West Side Island are some of the finest. Chemical plants' multifaceted functionality, Metropolis's ever-churning efficiency, truly inspirational. The open oil fields of Oil Ocean and Oil Desert, not so much. That amount of crude oil exposed to the elements is needlessly hazardous. Just imagine if a single spark ignited that place.
I know, wouldn't it be crazy? That would be insane, like it just burst into flames. It would be a hell of a show, though.
Oh, indubitably, but it wouldn't necessarily be good for productivity, now would it?
Yeah, well, sometimes you just gotta put on a show, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, you sound just like him.
Finest Cacophony has a question. Greetings and salutations to the great and prestigious Dr. Starline. What an honor it is to bask in your greatness mere moments before your soon-to-be magnum opus. Now, flattery aside, I have a simple question for you. Being a genius, one can only assume you have read much great literature. Have you ever read The Story of Icarus? It's a grand tale of ambition and why it is good to temper it. Forgive my assumption, but it would seem right up the alley of one as astute as yourself. Please grant me a humble request in saying hello to Surgeon Kit for me. I await your glorious return. Good day, Doctor, and good day to you, Kyle.
Indeed I have. I see much of myself in his father, Daedalus, a genius unappreciated in his time. So utterly tragic that he warned his son implicitly not to go beyond the operational parameters of the wings, and he did so anyway. You would think that the son of such a brilliant man would have inherited an iota of his father's intellect. Unmatched genius is a heavy burden for those of us blessed with it.
And we've got a question from Lass Bisharp. Dear Dr. Starline, if you were to take over the world without the help of Eggman, would you rule it differently from how Eggman ruled it? If so, what changes would you make?
Once Sonic and Tails have been eliminated and my societal manipulation is in full swing, I'm sure the Doctor will see the merit in my plan. He may even be impressed with how effortlessly I took control of his empire. Incrementally, we will break the free will of the people of this world until they serve our will. From there, once he's free of Sonic's distractions, I'm sure his creative spark will inspire us both to go on to bigger and bolder schemes.
All right. And we have a question from H.A. Dear Dr. Starline, how do you type with the tricore glove on?
Immaculately.
What's your words per minute? You think you can type as fast as Sonic?
Oh, I can achieve 100 words per minute easily. And that is without the speed affect of the tricore.
Wow. Are they properly typed?
Of course they are. There's no need to proofread. Why are you questioning me? The questions are coming from the other people. Stick to your lane.
Fine. Angie V has a question for you. Dear Dr. Starline, I wanted to get your advice since you seem to have a great understanding of human relationships. Strange, but okay. I have a friend who was recently dumped and is trying to win them back. Unfortunately, I don't think their partner was a good fit to them, as he only thinks of himself and really doesn't have any interest in my friend at all. What should I tell my friend to get them to move on? Thank you for your time, and good luck on all your future endeavors. That's Angie V.
My deepest sympathies to your friend Angie. Here's what they must do. They must be the best person that they can be. They must redouble their efforts on themselves, improve their diet, focus on their health, perfect their hobbies, chase their dreams, bring themselves to peak perfection so that they shine radiant in the vast abyss of ignorance that surrounds them. And once they've achieved that, and their ex comes crawling back to them, they can be magnanimous and gracious when they take them back.
That's rather presumptuous on how they would respond to them.
It's just the natural order of things. Once you establish yourself as peak perfection, the others will recognize it if they're smart enough and understand where things should be.
Fascinating. Here's a question from Edward S. To Dr. Starline, why didn't you create a doppelganger for Knuckles? Knuckles is the third member of Team Sonic after all, and he is mostly seen with Sonic and Tails a lot. So it would have been a good idea to obtain one for him as well. You could have used the Master Emerald to lure him to Eggman's capital city with Sonic and Tails.
Knuckles, any blunt object will do.
How dare you?
Perhaps I'll give Surge a baseball bat, draw a little face on it. There's your Knuckles analog.
What?
As for the Master Emerald, it's more trouble than it's worth. While Angel Island has some tactical value, it's also woefully impossible to properly defend. And the Master Emerald itself only really serves to neutralize the Chaos Emeralds. My plans don't require them, and thus cannot be neutralized.
Man, how dare you throw shade at Knuckles like that? That guy, he's a good guy. How dare you? He's very powerful.
He is extinct, and I can replicate him with a rock on the back of my hand.
Pandolce has a question. Greetings, dear Doctor. Big fan here. Now that your plan is so close to being a success, would you tell us how you imagine your life with Dr. Eggman by your side, since he belongs to your side according to you? I was wondering if you had any expectations or future visions of how that will be.
Oh, I imagine it'll be much like old times. He is a visionary, after all, and once he's free of the distractions, I'm sure he'll be full of inspiration and aspirations once more. And since he'll understand that I'm his equal in both genius and ambition, he'll be more open to my tempering of his more impractical ideas. His drive, my pragmatism, will reshape this world into something truly extraordinary.
I gotta be honest with you, Starline. I don't think Eggman will ever see anyone else as his equal. He doesn't strike me.
That's why you read the little words on the page, and I reshape global politics.
All right, if you insist. Buttered Noodles has a question. Dearest Mr. Starline.
Doctor.
Your plans to have Surge and Kit replace Sonic and Tails is coming together. I do have to ask, though, what do you plan to do with the bodies of the do-gooders after they have been removed from the Sonic cycle? With heavy anticipation, Buttered Noodles.
Goodness, I hadn't considered that. It's a trifle morbid, but truly, what better trophies than your slain enemies? Assuming they're still intact for taxidermy. Perhaps I'll immortalize them in something indicative of who they were. A reminder of their shallow heroism and how fleeting it was. Or perhaps I'll put them in a grander display, showing them in their final moments. I suppose that's a bit petty, but history is written by the victors, and shouldn't art imitate life?
What if doing that inspires other people to rise up in their place, though?
Well, then I'll just have to start a gallery, won't I?
Sword T40 has a question. Hello, Starline. Huge fan of yours. I wanted to ask, is there any type of music genre that interests you the most? Also, would you ever have a musical about your entire legacy? Imposter syndrome issues included.
I enjoy a well-crafted piece of orchestral artistry. None of that jazz or experimental nonsense. If I wanted to listen to random notes, I'd push a band down an elevator shaft. As for a biographical stage musical, I suppose my conquest should be immortalized in song one day, shouldn't it? But who would you ever find to play me? I know theater is an approximation of life, but can anyone truly capture my essence? Although, with the world finally corrected, I suppose my schedule would be free.
I feel like, though, trying to correct the world would be a constant thing, though. Are you sure you could schedule around that?
It would require some maintenance, especially in the beginning, to be sure. But once everything is neatly in place, I'm sure things will be fine. One has to have hobbies after all.
Yes. And we have a question from Jonathan S. So, Starline, now that you're on top of the Eggman Empire, how does it feel? What are the rest of your plans for Project Remaster once Sonic and Tails are dealt with? And will you go all the way in making cyborg copies of Sonic's support group like the Echidna and Amy?
Oh, I just feel dandy, but there's no need for additional replacements. The menagerie of sycophants that attach themselves to Sonic is too vast by far. There's no need to replicate that mistake.
And we got a question from Stacy H. Dear Dr. Starline, what's your opinion on Tails? Or as you've called him, Master Prower. Despite being on opposite sides, you seem to hold some form of respect and acknowledgement for him and his efforts. He is highly intelligent after all, never mind being a literal child. Please clarify before you attempt to kill said child.
Yes, young Master Prower is a tragic case. He's gifted in so many ways, and all that potential is squandered by living in Sonic's shadow. Had he come under the proper tutelage of someone else, like, I don't know, myself, he could have truly become remarkable. As is, he serves as a formidable accessory to Sonic, and thus he is replaceable.
I'm rather surprised that you would have that much respect for Tails, considering that you just made Kit a follower.
The difference being that young Master Prower has squandered potential. He could have been so much more, and an actual potential threat. He is, for his age, nearly as good as myself and Dr. Eggman, which is startling. Kit fulfills the perfunctory role, in tandem with Surge, without the concerns of stepping out of line.
Well, I'm convinced. Jared R. asks, hypothetically, how would a showdown between you and Blaze go, either in the Soul Dimension or on Earth?
That is a terrifying prospect, actually. I've been so fixated on this dimension's issues, I hadn't considered an invasion from another. And why not? The Imperial Princess is an ally of Sonic's, after all. I will have to prioritize interdimensional security once tonight's efforts are complete. As for the showdown, there wouldn't be one. Blaze is far too deadly to be confronted directly. She must be eliminated with an expressly aggressive arsenal from afar.
Honestly, yeah. If you were going to deal with Blaze, I guess that would probably be the best way to do it. But I don't know. She's practically as fast as Sonic. I don't know. I'll just say this. Don't let her bait you into going to Oil Ocean.
I would never be so foolish as to open myself up to that kind of carnage.
All right. Megan W. has a question. Hey there, Starline. Hope things are going well. Hope things are going well for you. I have a question about your gem hunting skills and knowledge. How did you come about finding the Warp Topaz? Are there any other mystic gems out there? We know the Chaos and Master Emeralds and the Phantom Ruby, unless you're just now hearing about the Ruby, and now even your Warp Topaz. Do you know if there's more out there? Maybe like an Amethyst or something?
I came across the Warp Topaz while securing the Chaos Emeralds for Dr. Eggman. I'm sure there are a myriad of other mystical gemstones out there. I'll endeavor to find them all and eliminate them. The Chaos Emeralds are enough of a problem. I don't need more variables cluttering things up.
How do you eliminate powerful gems like that? Just out of curiosity.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
All right, if you insist. Here's a question from CM. Hey there, Doc. Some people don't think you have the stones for it, but I think you will totally crush as leader of the Eggman Empire. However, I'd like to know, what are your plans for the human and Mobian settlements on the planet after you've taken over? Will places like Angel Island, the Presidential Office, and the Ark get a new purpose? Surely you have ideas. Give me the deets. Don't be afraid to spill your guts.
I'm not sure I like your tone. Or yours. Regardless, everyone and everything will have its place in my grand design. Much of it needs to remain flexible at the moment, as Dr. Eggman may have designs on some of those things, and I don't want to ruin him or his opportunities.
Yeah, that would be a real shame. Here's a question from Scruffy Matt. Greetings to you, the esteemed Dr. Starline. I just wanted to congratulate you on your successful invasion and also compliment you on your daring hairstyle. Might I be so bold as to ask how one could get a look as elegant as yours? I'm curious what your hair care process is and what product you use.
Well, you see,
Is it Colgate, Crest, Sensodyne? Kind regards, Professor Scruffymat, POC.
I see. I'll deal with you once my work here is done, Professor.
Watch out for toothpaste Nively, Scruffymat. He's coming for you. Owen W. has a question. Have you heard the legends of the Wechnia? Apparently it's some ghoulish echidna-like creature that haunts the new Tragic High Zone. I've been told that you resemble it from a distance.
We do not joke about the Wechnia. We do not speak of the Wechnia.
I thought you didn't believe in magic.
That thing defies explanation.
Wow. All right. Raptor Gaming 09 is a question. Hello, Dr. Starline. I have one question to ask. So with your falling out of worshipping Eggman and looking up to him as a hero, it's pretty safe to assume that you and Eggman are not on equal footing. My only question is, how is that affecting Surgeon Kit? I know that they are your lackeys, so obviously they are taking it to heart in their own way as well. So how's your falling out of looking up to Eggman been affecting both Surgeon Kit?
We didn't have a falling out. Mistakes were made, yes, but who are you to judge me? You can't even properly put spaces in your screen name. And our relationship has no bearing on my underlings. They're tools for my use, and they will feel and think what I want them to feel and think.
Well, there is a tool here, all right. John L. has a question. Dear Dr. Starline, as a student of Dr. Robotnik's storied career, which model of Orbinaut do you think is the best, and which is your favorite, if there's a difference? The sentry-like Orbinauts that guarded the Angel Island's launch base, the classic Uni, the Unido, the Fiery Soul, the Icy Star Pointer, the revved-up Turbinaut, the ecologically flamboyant Flamer. There are so many to choose from. Sincerely, it's Orbin time.
That's better. Finally, a question with a bit of class. I must say that I do have an affinity for the simple and sublime Uni. However, the flaming variants that have been employed do find that perfect balance between practical lethality and dazzling presentation.
I like the spiky ball ones myself. Soulsparks has a question. This is going to be our last one. Did you make Surgeon Kit's cyborg upgrades yourself, or are they a cheap knockoff of Egg Tech, like all your other inventions? Sorry, inspired by Egg Tech, excuse me.
You are not excused. My creations are precision instruments. The endoskeleton enhancements to Surge and Kitsunami are works of art, and I don't have to tolerate this nonsense. I have a world to conquer, a city to command, heroes to crush. This has been mildly entertaining, Karen. Go back to whatever it is you do. Stop Ian from eating anything larger than his fist, I suppose.
Get out of here, you duck.
Oh, such a marvelous comeback. Your wit scintillating.
Yeah.
Starline out.
Yeah, go duck yourself. Watch for falling rocks.
And we're back in... Why does it smell like show tunes in here?
Well, he got real into himself.
Well,
real up his own ass, as usual. Quack, quack, and all that.
And a little bit, the rocks will do that for him.
Yeah, good.
Thank you again to our sponsors over at patreon.com/BumbleKast for sponsoring this episode and letting us do some silly stuff. That's going to wrap us up for this special edition of the BumbleKast, and we will see you next time for our regularly scheduled Q&A.
See you later. Man, I've been a big oof. That guy is the biggest oof of all. Yeah.
Also, I had to really bite my lip at some of your little asides there because I didn't want to crack up over the mic.
Well, I'm glad they were funny, because I'm not always funny. I mean, I laugh at myself, but no one else is laughing, so. What's your words per minute?
Shit, what would be funny?
You think he could type as fast as Sonic? I'm going off script, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
The indignant silence is funny, though. I mean, to be fair.
I have indeed read it, and I see much of myself in his father, Daedalus, a genius of unappreciated. I have indeed. I see such a. I have indeed. I see much of myself in his father, Daedalus, a genius of There's no oven there. I'm reading the bloody script.
Nope. We didn't get a single red cent for like what, the first 10 episodes or more? I don't know. But actually wait, when did we launch the Patreon? It was like a while in, I think. We sat on that idea for a little bit.
No, I didn't want to be too presumptuous.
Yeah.
And now I kind of wonder if we should have just started with that. Well, whatever. Here we are.
No. It's fine. We're here now.
Being paid to voice a malicious duck man.
It's very dangerous.
So